It's the last of the men's singles quarterfinals tonight, and it's coming up right now. Rafael Nadal of Spain against Gilles Simon of France.
Gilles Simon, Gilles, your first ever Grand Slam quarterfinal. What a great tournament.
Well, it's nice. I hope it's not finished yet. I have a hard match to play right now, so I just give the maximum to reach the semi-final.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And his opponent tonight, the world #1 from Spain, Rafael Nadal. Just collecting all of his bags, all of his gear, on his way through now. Rafa, for you so far, straight sets all the way. You're in great form.
Well, I hope so. No, I was playing well last few matches, but you know, every day is completely different. Today I have very tough opponent against Simon. I will try my best.
Good luck.
Thanks a lot.
Not sure how much the players actually enjoy doing those interviews. They must be very focused on what they have to do, and Rafael Nadal has had the most sublime Australian Open. He has played the most impressive of tennis, and yet last night, of course, Roger Federer decided to turn up to the party, and that was the most astonishing exhibition against Juan Martín del Potro. But now tonight we have Spain against France, and Fernando Verdasco, who beat Jo-Wilfried Tsonga just about an hour ago, is through to the semi-final, and he plays the winner of this match. How much of a game do you think, Vijay, can Gilles Simon take to this man? As you quite rightly pointed out, he beat him the Masters Series Paris a couple of months ago.
And I think it's fair to say, with all due respect to Simon's performance in Paris, that it was a weary Nadal that he beat in Paris. He's had a very, very long 2008. When you win as much as he did last year to get the #1 ranking from the great man Roger Federer, who won 2 Grand Slams and the Beijing Olympics. And Simon played a terrific match to take out Nadal in Paris. But coming into this quarterfinal here, there is no question that Simon will come in believing that he can win. Nadal leads 2-1. The last time was 7-5, 3-6, 7-5, 7-6 to Simon. So you can well imagine even beating a tired Nadal is no mean achievement. But that one win will give him an added confidence that if it does get close, and if he does get into a winning position, that he can in fact finish off the Spaniard.
Well, if Nadal wins today in straight sets, he will have reached the semi-finals here without the loss of a set for the 2nd year running. Last year he did the same, and then of course he got completely undone by Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. That's not going to happen this year. And then at last year's Roland Garros, Nadal became the 5th player to win a Grand Slam in the Open era without dropping a set, and just the 3rd to do it at Roland Garros. He didn't drop a set in Paris last year.
Amazing. Amazing. He plays the first point like it's the match point. And we saw there the roof is closed, Rod Laver Arena, which makes it an indoor event at this point, which I always question. Now, is it closed because of the heat, or has it been raining?
Drop of rain around, some heavy clouds, but because it is so thundery, we haven't heard the thunder yet, but it is so hot in Melbourne. Do you remember the forecast? I heard Fred Stolley saying, now look at this, look at this. Do you ever see the film Jagged Edge?
Jeff Bridges.
Correct. But anyway, it is so hot. Temperatures.
And what had that got to do with that picture?
Because of the way that he places with such meticulous objectivity those bottles. He has to have them in the right order. If the labels aren't facing the court, the labels must face the court. That's what he does with those bottles, and he places them in such a precise order. But it's so hot, it's so very hot, so the roof is on.
The roof is on, makes it an indoor match. No wind will come into play here. And no swirling wind either, as Rafa Nadal plays Gilles Simon for a place in the last 4.
42 degrees, that's the current temperature in Melbourne. That's 107 degrees Fahrenheit. Simon. Well, the last time two Spaniards reached the semi-finals of any Grand Slam was 6 years ago, Roland Garros 2003, and they were Albert Costa and Juan Carlos Ferrero. The Spanish Armada getting stronger with each year that we see in Grand Slam tennis.
Well, this man is a one-man Spanish Armada on his own. That's a good serve.
That's a terrific serve. Last year in the round of 32, Nadal played Simon on this very court and beat him 7-5, 6-2, 6-3.
Hard to believe that he can hit that forehand out. So safe the way he whips that forehand. Unforced errors on the forehand for Nadal, always at the end of a match, probably in single digits. Terrific rally there from both players, showing how good they are from the backcourt. Simon keeping up with Nadal there throughout that rally, and finally the error slightly late perhaps on the backswing, and right off the bat he has a break point. Good serve.
And you feel that Gilles Simon's going to have to come up with a few more of those in this match. Deuce, 24 years of age. Gilles Simon, 22. Nadal.
Nadal is fully aware of the capability of this man's forehand. Well struck winner here, laces into this one nicely. Game point.
Incredible kick that he gets off the surface here, Nadal, with that top spin that he uses.
Oh. Three remarkable forehands to different corners of the court. Look at that. He whips that forehand up the line. Good white serve.
Well, he's got a good serve, isn't he? And so far he's managed to find the mark. But this opening game, this opening service game, big pressure on Gilles Simon now to hold serve. Goes down in an unforced errors column, and already we can see that the radar, the Rafael Nadal radar, is finely tuned for this match. He's missed nothing all week.
Well, you're never going to see that very often. An error of the return of serve on his opponent's second serve. The backhand slice there, and Nadal, which has improved to a great extent. It stays very low. He's able to mix that one up with the topspin, but look at this. The slider inside the service line, and Simon reaching for the ball. You know, once you get caught on that forehand cross court of Nadal, it's very hard to get off the wheel, isn't it? It's like you just got to wait for the merry-go-round to stop.
Simon, 6 unforced errors in this opening game. 1 from Nadal.
Well, the very first game was such a long one on the Simon serve, and eventually Nadal wears you down. A break in the first game. 1-love. He's very methodical in placing everything in the right spot, and it has to be just so for him as he leaves his corner.
Well, Nadal began this year by playing the Abu Dhabi exhibition event. He lost to Andy Murray, and then the next week he reached the quarterfinals of Doha, and he lost to Guy Monfils of France, 6-4, 6-4. In that event, though, in the Doha, he played the doubles and won it with Marc Lopez. 8 titles in 2008, including his first 2 on grass, including Wimbledon and another French Open. 4 in a row.
And that's the other thing he has improved considerably. That's the first serve. So if he doesn't get a free point on it, he certainly gets this kind of a response.
And this is new ground for the Frenchman, Gilles Simon. He's reached his first Grand Slam quarter-final here tonight. He's never previously advanced beyond the 3rd round of a major.
Interestingly, Sir Alan, I suppose it's fair to say, I could be wrong, but the last 2 players to have beaten Nadal in a tournament, ATP Tour event, have been Frenchmen.
You'd be right.
Oh! Half-volley pick up from the baseline. Nadal coming up with a remarkable backhand cross-court. Very quickly, it's 2-love. Rod Laver Arena is, the roof is shut. Look at that pickup. Love to. Good serve. Well done. Good first serve, that one from Simon. Good control over it. Second unforced error. You can start counting it on one hand, I suppose. Fine return from the two-hander.
4-2.
Caught it perfectly. Oh, he didn't question it. 2-1, Nadal, first set.
Andy Roddick, who tomorrow night plays Roger Federer in the first of the men's singles semi-finals. This is the last of the quarter-finals. Nadal against Simon, the right to play Verdasco in the second semi-final.
Already with a break of serve, 2-1, first set. Young Frenchman, wonderful ground strokes, and matching the world champion shot for shot. Well, a 40-love game for Nadal. Such a hard serve to attack though.
Gilles Simon is dining out on crumbs at the moment. There's nothing more than scraps that Nadal is offering him.
Once he gets onto that whippersnapper forehand, he actually hit that twice probably with the one swing. The short forehand of Nadal right here, this one, had so much spin on it. Look at Simon's backhand, bottom of the net. He was forced into it. Oh yes, lovely forehand winner. He's done that a couple of times already in this first set. It's compact. is going for the challenge.
False line. The ball is called good.
I don't think he's terribly convinced by this challenge, Gilles Simon, but anything to break up the pattern that we're seeing from Nadal, who's relentless with his grand strokes. And that's caught the line. Caught the line by 4 or 5 millimeters. That's all it needs. Even if it caught it by 1.
15-13. Simon has 2 challenges remaining.
So hard to put Nadal away in the course of a rally. He's just there. Wherever you hit the ball, Nadal's there. So 2 break points for 2 breaks of serve for the Spaniard. Created the opening nicely and then accelerated racket head speed here on this 2-hander. Saves 1 break point, 1 left. Well, he had the opportunity to go for the angle. It's 2 breaks of serve. 4-1, first set. Watching live coverage of the first Grand Slam of the Star Sports. Watching Nadal at his best. Wrong putting Simon there with that off forehand. With the swipper of a forehand that bites down into the court, well inside the side and baselines. Finally floats one long. Tony Nadal, his uncle and coach, for as long as we can remember, seeing Rafa on court. Hasn't had any cause for worry for these last 10 days. Well, that we don't see very often. The backhand error from the slice and then the double fault back to back, which would be considered obviously 2 unforced errors. 15-30. Oh, he pushed it long. Just went for a little too much, which is so easy to do against Nadal. This one here, just over the baseline. So 30 all on the Nadal serve. Unforced errors 4. Unforced errors. He didn't get the call. Nadal didn't question it. I think he was talking about the baseline call. This one here, Alan. Take that back. Not that one.
But he doesn't challenge very much, largely because 99% of his shots are in.
No, no. Even the opponent's call, he doesn't take a chance too often. He's in the middle of the point.
Correct. Break point on the Nadal serve for Simon. Just listen to this crowd. Nadal, this is the one you were talking about? On the line.
That's the one he questioned. But he should have put his hand straight up if he wanted to challenge it. But he didn't. Bothered him the rest of the point. Still a break up. 2-4.
Well played. He's finding his range now, Simon.
15 long.
Oh, he's going for a bit more, Nadal. So in the last couple of games, we've seen, here's Thierry Tillan, Simon's coach. Thierry was a good player himself, from France.
Also used to coach Sébastien Flongeon and Paul-Henri Mathieu.
There you are.
Would you have played against Tillan?
No, he was too young.
Doesn't look it.
Little extra heat on that forehand. Could become a little interesting if Simon can hold here. Taking his time. finding the angles and the width of the court. And finally, the winning forehand here from the #1 player in the world. Break point for 5-2.
26 shots that last rally.
At tremendous pace.
Always a challenge here on the first serve.
Yes, align the balls part out.
Right underneath the umpire's eyes as well, this. And it's wide. Unfortunately for Gilles Simon, it's wide.
Thompson just spin down into the court at the baseline. And Simon couldn't control it. 5-2.
Simon has 1 shot.
Star Sports bringing you the final quarter-final of the men's singles, and this is Gilles Simon of France, the 24-year-old French #2. Got into the top 10 towards the end of last year, the world's top 10.